Today I'm going to take advantage of a situation with Pierce Brosnan and his wife Keely Shaye Smith, and I really hope I'm saying her name right, to ask the question, what is a marriage? This particular aspect hit really close to home, and you're going to find out why in a minute. So, you know who I am, you know where to find me. Let's get into it. Now, let me start by saying that Pierce Brosnan and his wife Keely have been married for over 20 years. Happily, I would think, okay? When they married, he was a widow and she was young and she was very skinny. I would even dare say she was too skinny, but that's another topic for another day. Bottom line is that they've been together through thick and thin, literally. The reason why this hits close to home is because even though I don't know when I'm going to post this, I know that I'm filming it the day after my 36th wedding anniversary. And in the last 36 years, we've gone up, down, sideways in every way imaginable. I am currently 150 pounds heavier than I was when I got married. And clearly, I'm not going to show you my husband because some people on the internet are sick and I really don't need that aggravation. He's a private person, he's not posting himself on social media. But the thing about it is, you can tell by the little bits that I left that he had perfect black hair when we got married, and he now has all gray hair. You can say I gave it to him, but that's another story for another day. Anyway, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because if you look at Pierce Brosnan and Keely, they're young, they're happy, they're in love when they got married. They're still together. And I guess I don't even know where to begin with this comment because this person clearly, and by the way, the people who are quote tweeting the original post are the heroes of the day. I'm not complaining about them. I'm complaining about the original post that says, your daily reminder to avoid marriage. Now, I would like to ask RX Red Pill a couple of questions about marriage. Is marriage about good looks and money and being pretty? Is that what this is to you? Because I'm going to give you a little bit of our story because I am not going to get into the personal story of celebrities. I don't do that. But I think that we can all relate in several aspects, not all of them. When we got married, my husband and I were 20 and 21 years old. I was 8 months older than him. I'm still 8 months older. And I don't know why I said it that way. But the bottom line is, I was an adult and he was 20. And that is a joke that could be made back then, but now it's inappropriate, so I'm not going to make it. But anyway, bottom line is, we were young, we were very healthy. He was in the military, I was a college student. We had our whole life ahead of us, and we had a lot of hopes and dreams and aspirations of what could happen with our life, okay? In the last, I want to say 15 years, we have been, no, actually longer because I'm going to go all the way to the miscarriages. Since we got married, we've had 3 miscarriages, 2 cancer scares, an actual cancer diagnosis. I have had my gallbladder removed, and I've lived the last 15 years with a medical condition diagnosed officially 11 years ago, which has made my life a living hell, and it makes it very hard for me to exercise at times. There are times when I can control it enough that I can work out every day for months, and there are times when I cannot even get out of bed for days. We don't plan for that when we get married, but you know what is very important to remember is that you have a partner that doesn't matter what you go through, they're there for you. Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of why. Um, I want to say her name is Keely, but I don't know if it's Kylie. I hope. Oh God, I hope I'm not saying that right. Wrong. I mean, but suffice it to say, she's been through her things. Okay, she's still alive. She's still here. She's still very supportive of her husband. And even if they got divorced tomorrow, they went through all of it together. Because marriage is not about looks, it's not about money, it's not about health, It's about what happens when one of you doesn't have either one of those things anymore. If you both got married and you had money and you had fame and you had looks and whatever, you were skinny and pretty, that's not going to last forever. Even people that stay relatively skinny gain a couple pounds. I believe the average is 20 pounds in 20, 30 years. These people have been together for over 20 years. And I don't understand why people think this is the win that they think it is. Because clearly this person thinks that they are making a great point. Meanwhile, somebody says, imagine this dude raging on Pierce Brosnan because the natural effects of aging mean he doesn't look like James Bond anymore. Mind you, I don't think he was referring to Pierce Brosnan, but I thought it was nice that this person said that. Another tweeter said, I don't know, if you're going to use something as an example for men to avoid marriage, maybe don't use Pierce Brosnan, who outwardly adores his wife. And of course, my favorite, why is it that ever so often we must be reminded, typically by the worst of society, that Pierce Brosnan has been happily married for 20 plus years? Good for them, honestly. Perhaps more people should fall in love. Let me be very clear about something that I've discovered in 36 years of marriage. It's not even always about love. Sometimes it's about loyalty. There are going to be days when you're hanging on by a thread because you do love that person. Don't take me wrong. I'm not talking that there is no love. What I'm saying is that there are days that you need more than love to survive what life is going to throw at you. You are going to go through very big challenges. In my case, we had 3 miscarriages in 10 years. We've had ups and downs financially. We've had really good jobs and really crappy jobs, really good years and really bad years. And the thing that I can tell you from being married for 36 years is that you will need somebody else to intercede at times, like a counselor or a family therapist or somebody that will take care of you. Church is not enough. Love is not enough. Sometimes you're just going to have to stay together because you don't have a choice. But if you keep talking and you keep supporting each other through everything that life throws at you, you will stand together. And looks are not going to be that important. I personally can tell you that because of my medical diagnosis, there are times when I don't want to be anywhere near my husband because I don't feel good about myself. My medical condition, how do I say this? My medical condition drives my depression. Meaning, there are times when I have very bad depressions, but they're based on my medical condition. In other words, if I'm in a flare up, I'm probably going to be depressed. When I'm depressed, I don't want anybody around me. And ever since I had the Rona, one of the things that have happened ever so often, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen on occasion, is I am very sensitive to anything that touches my skin. And I'm not talking about a man, I'm talking about even clothes. I cannot wear certain clothes. I cannot have people around me. It's very weird, and it only lasts for a day or two. But it's happened 3 times already since the Rona, and I had the Rona in August, just for reference. And what happens is, my poor husband cannot even come and kiss me goodnight because I just don't, I can't feel anything on me. I've had situations where I've had spent weeks that I am not in the best of moods because of my medical condition. I'm not saying this is what's happening with Pierce Brosnan and his wife. What I'm saying is that when you're in a marriage, looks are the last thing you care about if you actually love somebody. There's going to be a lot of help and support that you're going to need from your partner. And if your idea of a marriage is to remain beautiful and remain sexy and young, I have news for you. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you. And I'm sorry about the noise, but unfortunately they're moving outside. So what I really suggest to this red pill person is to ask himself, number one, Why do you feel the need to dunk down on other people? Because the last time I looked, people who are happy with themselves don't have the need to put others down in order to feel better about themselves. The second thing I want to ask this person is, do you really think marriage is about staying young and beautiful? Because that's not going to happen. The most beautiful women, older women that I've ever seen in my life, some of them are married, some of them are single, some of them are together with a couple but not married. None of that has anything to do with the other thing. They're not mutually exclusive. But you know what's really important at the end of the day? It's not what you look like on the outside, it's what you hold on the inside. If at the end of the day you can look at the person that you're living with, whoever it is, and that person has been with you through thick and thin, and you know in your heart of hearts that no matter what happens, more than likely they're going to stay there and they're going to be there to support you, that's a big deal. And that has nothing to do with looks. And the fact that you are concentrating on something so superficial says a lot more about you than it does about Pierce Brosnan or Keely Shaye Smith. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day.